Hello, great people. The names on the lips of every Nigerian at the moment is currently Peter Obi and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as both leaders met in Rome during the inauguration of the new Pope Leo. Both leaders met and the organ embraced each other. The social media is on fire. People are reacting to it. There's been a lot of comment and reaction. And on this episode with your show plug, Dr. Omoshola, I'll be bringing you the images of both Peter Obi and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Then I will be telling you what went on behind the scene, how they met, why they met, and there is also a presidential reaction to the presence of both leaders. I will tell you what the presidency is saying. Then we will be also looking at the politics behind Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presence in Rome. You will recall that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Muslim. Why did he attend the inauguration of Pope Leo in Rome? We'll be dissecting all these issues. Then the presence of Sheyi Tinubu as well. We'll be looking into it and we'll be making sense of the whole image, particularly the one of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and that of Peter Obi, where they were smiling. We'll be doing all this and a whole lot more on this episode with your show plug, Dr. Omoshola. First, what I can tell you is that we need to play politics with limits, because the people that you want to kill yourself for, the people you want to die for, as I've always said, when they meet each other, they would be smiling. They would be embracing each other. You can see in the picture on the screen that both leaders are all smiles. Look at the way they are smiling at each other. They realize that above all, they are still brothers. And the thing is, if they can smile at each other, why can't you? If Peter Obi, that wants to be president, if you can see Tinubu, that is the incumbent president, and they can smile and embrace each other, despite the fact that they are both struggling for Nigeria's presidency and they will still struggle for it together in 2027, if they can be all smiles, then why can't you smile with your neighbor? Do you love Obi more than himself? Do you love Bola Ahmed Tinubu more than himself? Now, let me tell you what happened, why they, how they met. Before I tell you why Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended the inauguration of Pope Leo, there's an international dynamics to it. There's an international dimension to it. I'm going to bring in the United States as well and the Catholics in Nigeria. But first, let me read to you the statement that was released by the media aide of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the person of Bayo Ononuga. Don't forget that Bayo Ononuga himself is a staunch critic of Mr. Peter Obi. But when I read the statement on his Facebook page for you, you will see that Bayo Ononuga has even perhaps learned some lessons himself, because his statement, is quite matured, and that is uncommon of Bayo Ononuga. His statement, maybe because he has seen Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Peter Obi together, the way they embrace themselves, the way they kind of like laugh at each other, then he himself has learned some lesson that there's no gain in you kind of like being overly political and being an enemy of any of these candidates. Now, let me read the statement of Ononuga to you. It says that President Tinubu meets Peter Obi Fayemi at the Vatican. President Bola Tinubu, Mr. Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate, and former Ekiti governor Kayode Fayemi met at Pope Leo's installation mass on Sunday in Rome. Fayemi cited President Tinubu. Listen to this very well. Fayemi cited President Tinubu where he sat with other leaders and asked, underline, and asked Obi to follow him to pay homage to the Nigerian leader. Obi agreed. Now, I'm coming to that particular paragraph. He said, he asked Mr. Peter Obi that, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is around, that's him, let us go and pay homage to him. Obi, being somebody that is cultural, being somebody that is respectful, he realized that rightly or wrongly, presently this man is Nigeria's president, and he followed Fayemi to pay homage to the Nigerian leader in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But you will see your neighbor. You will hate your neighbor. You won't want to greet your neighbor. Some of you, the way you behave, I just pity Nigerians. Look at the way the leaders, look at the way they are behaving. Yet, some of you will still hate your neighbor. Some of you will not greet your neighbor. Some of you have even turned your family to your enemy. Some of you even do it to me, that I will present my analysis. Some of you say, you are pro Tinubu. You are pro B. You can see. You see your life? You see your life? Let's continue the reading. Now, it says that on getting to the president, Fayemi broke the ice between Obi and Tinubu. He said, Mr. President, welcome to our church and thank you for honoring the Pope with your presence. President Tinubu, ever quick-witted, responded, "I should be the one welcoming you and Peter. I am the head of the Nigerian delegation." The president's response cracked up Obi, who agreed with the president. Obi said, "Yes, indeed, we are members of your delegation. Peter Obi and Fayemi are stern Catholics and papal knights." That is the end of the statement of Bayo Onanuga. Do you notice that the Bayo Onanuga statement is not temporal, is not abusive? Perhaps he has learned something from the way the two leaders interacted with each other. Now, let me tell you why Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended the inauguration. You will recall that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Muslim, and he attended the inauguration of the Pope. First, because he is Nigeria's president. Secondly, the Catholics are many in Nigeria. Nigeria is the capital of the black race. So if Nigeria holds over 200 population, you can imagine the number of Catholics that are in Nigeria. And Catholics are all over Nigeria, both the north and the south. So it is natural for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to go there and represent Nigeria as the leader of Nigeria at the moment, and not just, Nigeria, by extension Africa, because I can say that the number of Catholics in Nigeria may apparently be larger than other countries in Africa. So it is natural based on leadership. Now let us go to the political and the international dynamics. You will recall that there have been reports that there is persecution of Christians in Nigeria, so much so that the US Vice President J.D. Vance spoke about it and said that the persecution of Christians in Nigeria should stop. And the report of the persecution have been reaching the US government, so much so that Nigerian bishops, they travel to the United States to give testimony against the Nigerian government in the US Congress. And the US Congress recommended to the Trump presidency that Nigeria should be sanctioned. In fact, the world is crippling sanctions on Nigeria. So you can see that persecution of Christians, particularly in northern Nigeria, the Nigerian bishop's testimony in the United States Congress. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu apparently have to attend to send signal that he is a religious, flexible person, and to send signal to the Trump presidency that he has nothing against Christians, particularly Catholics. So his presence speaks volume. His presence is a way of marketing his country that, oh, we are not persecuting Christians and we have nothing against Christians. So his presence at that particular inauguration is very, very symbolic. I need to give you that international the dynamics and dimension so that some of you can understand. But above all, it is good to play politics with limit, because the presence of Mr. Peter Obi and they laughing with each other, like I said, speaks volume. Obi has never abused Bola Ahmed Tinubu's father. Tinubu has never abused Obi's mother. They operate with decorum, but you are ready to kill, you are ready to destroy, you are ready to insult and abuse people just because you feel that they are not speaking your mind, or just because you feel that you are a passionate or a fanatic follower of these people. Let me tell you what happened to me just yesterday. I made a video about Mr. Peter Obi when he recommended the Chinese style model for corruption. And in that particular video, I had to draw inference on somebody that has been in government or who Mr. Peter Obi contested an election together with. And I realized that the perfect fit is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I stated that Bola Ahmed Tinubu stated that we let the poor breathe, but now the poor are suffocating. And I said that Bola Ahmed Tinubu advocated for state police, but now we have not heard anything about state police. I gave some, I even mentioned Buhari's change, whereby Buhari promised change and he changed the promise. And now said that hope Mr. Peter Obi's noble idea of consumption to production, hope his noble idea of his Chinese model, which is dead by hanging, to politicians that are corrupt, hope when he gets to if he eventually becomes Nigeria's president, hope he won't change the promise. Hope he won't change all these lofty ideas that he is bringing to the table. Because I asserted that when Nigerian politicians are in the opposition, definitely they bring lofty ideas. Some people that did not wait to see the end of the video, immediately I started with Bola Ahmed Tinubu and I mentioned Peter Obi, some silly people, some block-headed people were just dropping some nasty comment that, oh, so, for you mentioning Obi and Tinubu, oh, some people are even abusing me. Somebody that cannot pass for 101, some of them even went ahead because of Obi and Tinubu to be questioning my doctorate. You can imagine how mad some people can be. Apologies, for using that kind of word. So look at it. Just a day after, Obi and Tinubu are standing together. Then where lies your brain? I think some people that are usually fanatic and usually hate themselves should be ashamed of themselves with this picture of Peter Obi and Bola Ahmed Tinubu that is trending. Now, let us end with Seyi Tinubu. Seyi Tinubu, don't you have a job? Don't you have something that is keeping you busy? Why is it that everywhere your father is, you are always present? Why are you overly influential in your father's presidency? What is the purpose of your presence in Rome? Are you not a busy man? Nigerians elected your father. Your father has enough aides. What are you doing in Rome on taxpayers' money? What is the effect of your presence? What is the relevance of your presence? You are not an appointee of the president. So I think that Seyi Tinubu appears not to be busy. Maybe his job is maybe the son of the president, if there's any role like that in the Nigerian constitution. So I would advise Seyi Tinubu to kind of like find something doing if he's not busy, and find something meaningful to do with his time, not to be overly present and is operating everywhere you go. He will be the one that will be present at the Federal Executive Council, and his father will say no. At the inauguration of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, he will be the one present. He will be the one that is being accused of allegedly harassing and beating up the NAS president. He will be the one that you will see in Rome. It's good to be involved in politics, but he's overly too present around his father. And he's not the first. His father is not the first president that we have a son. So I think the father himself needs to checkmate Seyi Tinubu. But kudos to Peter Obi and Bola Ahmed Tinubu for their maturity. Kudos for shaming people that think that they cannot meet. Kudos to them for shaming people that think that they cannot see and smile together. Kudos to them for their maturity. Kudos to them for leading by example and for embracing each other, and for kind of like showing that at least they have some level of cordial relationship and maturity. To you that likes to hate your neighbor, well, you can see, and I hope that you will draw lessons from it henceforth, because like I said, you cannot like Peter Obi more than himself, and you cannot like Tinubu more than himself. It's been an interesting time with you. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past video. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.